Hello and welcome to another episode of Writing Thoughts. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the best way to beat writer's block. As always, you can read this blog post on my website, thepensleuth.com, and if you enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So let's get into the topic. Writer's block is a problem many people are aware of before they even start writing. These are the days when you not only lack the inspiration to write anything, but also lack the imagination. Good ideas are scarce and you are left staring at a blank page, racking your brains for a sentence to get things started. I've discussed many methods for beating writer's block, but I believe one method is greater than any other. Now, writer's block is typically brought about by extended periods of writing. This is not too different from burnout. Over a lengthy period of time, your mind struggles to find the next good idea, and it sometimes feels like any idea you do find isn't worth the time. That feeling that you're scraping at the bottom of the barrel makes the writing process even more difficult and a lot less fun. I've known writers who experience blocks that only last a few days to ones who experience blocks that lasted months. Such a length of time can easily ruin the experience of writing for someone, pushing them into a state where their mind simply rejects the idea of writing again. It's a terrible mentality that is only ever broken by a powerful burst of inspiration, if they are lucky. Such a problem inspires many people to find a solution. Some people turn to professionals and others turn to home-brewed methods. Most feel that the only solution to this problem is to take a step back and wait for inspiration to hit. But here is my take. Now, waiting for inspiration is not a bad idea. Yet it depends on many factors in your life. It depends on your health, your responsibilities, and how much creativity you surround yourself with. With that said, waiting for inspiration could take a few hours or a few months. That's a fact that places the whole waiting for inspiration method in second place, not first, for overcoming writer's block. For me, the best method to beat writer's block is to ruin your story in order to push forward. The method does need a little explanation, so let me set the scene. You have written a few chapters, your character is in a tough situation, or a dull one, a difficult scene to write your way out of even if you don't have writer's block. The dialogue becomes unnatural, your descriptions lackluster, and your plot logic non-existent. There's no good way of continuing the story, no idea jumps out at you. That is when it's time to ruin your story by breaking the mentality you have surrounding your novel. You think a certain way about your characters and plot, which keeps you from progressing, so you have to break that mentality by abandoning some connections with your story. Push the story forward by introducing something unpredictable, make nonsense out of the scene, and break the character's personality if you have to. In doing so, you'll create a scene that isn't even fit for editing. You may have progressed your word count, but you have effectively done nothing for your story. Yet, even by creating such an atrocious scene, one can immediately discern a better scene from the wreckage. I found that it is easier to progress the story by creating something I don't want in order to figure out what I do want. Now, there are many bad ways a story can go, but seeing one bad way is usually enough for me when I need to make some binary decisions regarding the elements in a scene. Do I want a character to do something or say something? Do I want to throw a character in, or do I want to shift the plot in another way? A process of elimination that only requires one sequence of eliminations. From there, ideas start to form and it is easier to progress the story. Now, that doesn't mean that every scene can be saved, but most can. And this isn't a method that is new to writing. Many writers employ it in order to progress the story to a point where they are more comfortable writing. It's easier for them from then on, but I also noticed that going back to see these nonsensical scenes works too. You understand the scene a lot better, and writing does become easier. I'm not saying that I suddenly start writing with such ease that it feels like I'm being carried on a wave of brilliant inspiration. Yet it's easier to find the right words and progress the story than it was beforehand. But this is simply my method. Everyone will have their own method for overcoming obstacles in their writing. Some methods work well with everyone and other methods work well with specific writers. I'd very much like to hear what kinds of methods you would recommend for overcoming writer's block in the comments below. And if you have tried out this method of pushing forward with bad writing until the writing gets good again, how would you rate this method? And that brings us to the end of this video. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions or topics you want to suggest, let me know in the comments below as well. And if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, good day, good night, and happy writing.